What's up, guys? It's Migs with Market Open. Let's go ahead and do the midday market recap. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. If I was to tell you I was anything but disappointed in my trades in Wynn, I would be completely lying. As you can see, I took 3 trades on Wynn, and every single one of those went against me. So I didn't really take double my size on any of them. A little bit larger losses than I usually take then with the $100 or so, but that's just the way it goes. So let's start off with my first trade. Link this to red. And my first trade of the day was on Wynn. So I called it out yesterday on Facebook that something about the CEO resigning or getting some negative news, some harassment, something's going on in the company, and basically the stock had just plummeted. It reacted to what the negative news was, so it gapped down all the way from 180, and it opened up this morning somewhere around, let's see here, the 171 mark. So I had it pulled up on the 1-minute chart, and during this first couple of minutes, like the first 3 minutes, my computer was actually messing up, so I had to restart the programs, and I was a little bit late, unfortunately. So I got back in here, and I saw this ORB pattern right here. I saw it break down. My stop was going to be probably somewhere around the 170 mark, but I had missed it. So knowingly, I chased it. I took it down and break down to the whole number. So I knew if I was going to risk $2, I was going to take 50 shares. So I took it on the breakdown right here at 168. So I took it right at 934, so right in this candle right here. So I took it, and with a $2 stop loss, 50 shares, it went down a little bit more than $1.25 or so, but it actually never continued. So as you can see, it actually kept going, and I got kicked out of it. Right, I think I actually shorted some more at 168.45, and I got kicked out at 170. So I lost somewhere around $150 or so. So probably right around here. Yeah. So I got kicked out of Wynn. That was the first loss on Wynn. Then I shorted it again at 169.37. So probably took that on the 5-minute. 169.37, somewhere around here. Yep. So this is actually just a bear flag. And so you wait for it to pull down, pull back to VWAP and the 9. Next candle to make a new low, you get in. So my entry was probably right here in this candle. Yep, right here at 955, 169.37. Caught a little bit. It obviously, with the price of something like Wynn, the spread's a little bit larger. As you can see, the spreads on here are more than 10, 15 cents. So I shorted another 50. Short another 50 right here, 169.37. I think I held this one for a little while, and then I actually ended up covering it at 171.79. So my entry was here, right in this candle, and anything over, let's see, 171.50, I believe. Yeah, so right around here was probably my stop, and I got kicked out at 179.80. Yep, right up here. So I held it. So it was the right entry. It's just it didn't want to come down at first. Like, I would take this trade. If you showed me this, I would take this trade all the time. Just put my stop right here, right where it was. And next candle to make a new low is your entry because it's below VWAP. It's below the 9. So unfortunately, I ended up taking another $100+ loss on that. Let's see here. ABBV. ABBV was actually on the watch list this morning. Let's see here. ABBV right at 956. So I can tell you right here, I know it's this bull flag right here. So it pulled up, pulled back to the 9 in VWAP. Entry is next candle make a new high. So it's this candle right here. And as you can see, it did not work out. So this is why you got to stick to your stops. So I think I probably even might have left a little bit earlier. Let's see here. So ABVV right here over the highs. I got in at 123.60. 122.75. Yeah, so I actually ended up getting out down here right before my stop. At this point, I knew it was going to go under, so I took all 125 shares. So that was another loss on ABBV. At one point, I was actually down, like $540 or so. It's just, I think I was just really frustrated with the losses on Wynn because I had lost over $300 or so in Wynn probably within the first 30 minutes or so, 30 minutes to an hour. So I was really disappointed on that. It was a little bit of an emotional trade. I'm not gonna lie. I usually don't suffer too much from like I try not to from like fear of missing out and try not to revenge trade as much as I can. But if it definitely happened a little bit today. My share sizes were according to what I was supposed to be risking, so it wasn't anything obnoxious like takes twice my size or three times my size just to try and get back what I lost. It's just not that way. I know that I have to try and move forward in just basically with the same risk that I always do, because that's how disasters basically happen. If you start taking 2-3 times your size and you're not making the right judgment call, you're not emotionally stable to be able to make the right decision, it goes against you. You lose 2-3 times as much money, and now you're even madder. So that's definitely, it's like a spiraling snowball of emotion that happens a lot of the times when you lose money really fast and you don't stick to your rules. All right, so we were at ABVV. All right, so the next trade was on Sohu. Sohu, right? I know I took all these on the 5-minute chart after this. So I took it short under let's see here. So I got executed at 39.66. Right, it was right almost at 10. So it was over here. Yep, right in here. Yep. So as you can see, it pulls down, it pulled back, it's still under 9 and VWAP, and it kept bouncing right here at the 39.50 mark. So what ended up happening is, as you can see, it was done it right at 9.59, so it was within this candle, and I shorted it right as it hit 39.50, but as soon as it hit 39.50, there were a lot of buyers sitting there. So it spiked up really fast, and I actually got filled at 39.66. But I got lucky, and I was risking to about 40 cents or $40 right here. So I knew that my risk was up here, it was 50 cents away. So I held through, and it actually broke down below the 39.50 mark, and I covered. So 39.40. Yeah, so 39.40. I took a small. Actually, no, I shorted another 200. There we go. Yeah, so I shorted another 200. So I was short 400 with an average right around 39.52 or 56 or something like that. And then as I came down to 39.08, I covered 200. And then, let's see here. Looks like I shorted another 200 right around 39, hoping that it would break down. I actually get it. So I was up $100 and something on Sohu during that time. So on the second quantity that I added, it kept bouncing right here at 39. And as you can see, it broke down. And I was going to put my stop somewhere. Where did I put it at? I got out at 39.73. Yeah, so I actually ended up getting kicked out somewhere up here on the spike. I ended up getting kicked out on the spike. So as you can see, it kept bouncing right here at 39. I was going to short it. My stop was going to be 39.50. I had a stop order, but it spiked really fast on low volume, so it actually ended up getting filled up way up here at 39.73. So then I ended up losing all that I had previously made and an extra like $80 or so. So as you can imagine, I was quite frustrated with Sohu and the way that it just spiked out and kicked me. During this time, I wasn't watching Sohu. That's why I had a hard stop. So I got in, set my stop up here, and just let it go. I kind of just expected it to trend straight down, maybe not come back to the 9, but it definitely spiked. You can see this candle is a lot larger than the ones here, and it's on low volume. So that's kind of what happens when there's a relatively low volume in the stock. It can spike and kick you out, and you'll lose more money. That's why you want to trade stocks that have relatively higher volume. But I mean, as you can see, Sohu. Hold on a second. Info's not coming up for some reason. Come on, there we go. All right, so it's got over 2.5 million shares. So just during this time, there just wasn't a lot of volume in the stock. It was getting a little spready, and so that's when it spiked. Let's see here. So I lost on Sohu, GILD. Let's see here. Next trade was on GILD. 200 short at 88. Or no, actually I went long at 88. Yeah, so you can see here, I'll draw it out for you guys. At this point, I was probably down $300, $400, I don't even remember. But you guys can see this perfect technical formation here. Right there, you guys can see the wedge forming up right at 88. So so I'll show you as I saw it. So I saw it right here. And right over 88 was your entry. Your proper stop could have been 50 cents or so. But at this point, I was playing scared just because I was down so much money. And this is where my emotions kind of started coming in and dictating how I was trading. And I took account of that, and I realized it. I should have taken a little bit smaller share size, but because my proper stop should have been down here at 87.50. But as you can see, if I got in at 88, I would have hit my target. My 1-to-1 target, it actually would have hit 2-to-1 if I really would have kept it and I wasn't trading scared. So you just have to take that into account whenever you're down a certain amount of money, that you are not in the right state of mind to be able to make the right trade. So, and you have to be able to make that call on whether you should keep trading. Maybe you should play with smaller size so you don't lose as much money. So with GILD, I actually took the trade off. I went long at 88. I took out, let's see here, went long at 88. I got rid of 100 at 88.17, so I was up a couple bucks. But let's see here. What actually ended up happening here? So GILD 100. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so I actually ended up going long right at 88 at 10.28. So it's got to be this candle right here. Yep. So this candle right here. So I went long 200 shares, and then I actually ended up adding another 100 at 88.17. So I had 300 shares. Then it started pulling back, and I was just emotionally, I was not able to hold the pullback because I didn't want to lose any more money. Like I mentioned earlier, not in the right state of mind, didn't make the right call. I got out at 87.90, ended up losing 47 bucks. So I think probably within this point, I was down somewhere around $400 and something dollars, maybe even a little shy of 500. So as you guys know, my max loss is $300. So, but I had lost all of that on Wynn. So I tried to give myself another chance to try and come back, which I really shouldn't have. I should have just stopped right then and there. Either that, or I should have just backed off a Wynn for a while and let it choose which way it's going first. Make sure that it's coming down, and then trade it. Because as you guys can see, Wynn actually did end up coming down, and quite fast. So right here is really where I should have gotten in. So somewhere around like the 169-ish. So right after it was under VWAP and under the 9, this is really where I should have gotten in. So as you can see, it broke down. It tried to come back up, but it failed. So somewhere around here is really where I should have shorted, and I could have caught all of this, but I didn't. Because Wynn is down 7%, and it went down another 10% on Friday. So you know this stock has no choice but to come down. It's not if you short it, it's when you short it. It's the right timing. It's all about the timing, because anybody can push a button to short or long something at a certain time or at any time. You might win or lose money, but it's really all about the timing. The stock is coming down. It's under way too much pressure. You just have to short it at the right time. Just remember that, guys. It's not if, but when. All right, so let's see here. Next trade. Was it Sohu? Yeah, that's what it was. So my next short was on Sohu right here, right at 1104. We'll do this way, 1104. So right here in this candle. So as you guys see, I noticed that after this spike, it just kept holding right here at this little flat right here at 39.24. So I told myself, okay, so stop here, right over 37.57. And if it goes under the 39.24, then obviously it's choosing a direction. It's choosing to come back down. So I put my stop here. I shorted it. Got in right here in this candle. Let's see here. Right at 11.04. Yep, right at 11.04. And then I actually, so who? 10:30. Let me just double check here. 39.21. Yep. So I shorted it right there, 200 shares. Oh, actually no, I ended up adding to my position. That's what it was. So I was short I was short 400 shares, and I added right here under this platform. That's what it was. I added under 39.21. I got in, and then as you see, it kind of just kept flushing down. I held it for almost an hour here, but I actually ended up hitting my target. I covered 300 of the shares at 38.59, so I ended up down here. And then it ended up holding right here in this area, and I just covered the last 100 at 38.54. So then with that, I was up about $300, and so that wiped out the 80 bucks that I had lost, and then put another 221 over that. So that was actually my only positive trade for the day, unfortunately, but it was a decent one. Then another trade on Wynn, of course, right here. What was I thinking on this trade? Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I know that it had bounced here previously, and I probably shouldn't have short. Like, it was under the 9, obviously under VWAP. My stop was about $1 away. I knew that really typically my stop would be somewhere up here, so I really should have only shorted about 50 shares. But as you can see, either way, it actually ended up coming up. So it's gapping down. It comes down. It pulls back up slightly, and it bounces at the 165 mark. Typically, you'd be able to short it here. It should keep coming back down, but there are still buyers. There's people that are scooping up Wynn for a cheaper price. But as you can see on here, I got kicked out right at 166, right in, I believe, this candle right here. So I got kicked out, 30 minutes later? Sat here and held this for a little while. I was actually thinking about halving my size because it didn't want to break down under the 164.75. So after something like this cracks, you want it to keep going and not be able to spike up and hold like this. So I saw the buyers coming in here. I really should have gotten out a little bit earlier. I was actually thinking about cutting down my size right as it was bouncing around the 165 mark. I just ended up not doing it. And then very next candle, it just kind of spiked up and kicked me out. So I ended up losing another $100. That gives me my final loss on Wynn for $406. So yeah, just Wynn, whichever trade I took on Wynn, I would have been better off, honestly, just doing the exact opposite, and I would have made $400, not lost it. But that's just some days, that's just how it is. You just have to try and keep your winners a little bit bigger than your losers. Unfortunately, I took 3 trades on Wynn, and losing $400 is really not that bad if I took that many trades on it. Then PG, I will tell you this was a little bit of a cheeky entrance. I was trying to be a little smart about it. But this is also me trading a little bit emotional. As you can see, PG is actually moving down. It didn't gap or anything, so it's moving down. It pulls back up. Now I'm just waiting for it to get under VWAP, under VWAP and under the 9. I saw it right around here. So right here, as you can see, this candle right here, it kind of rejected the 87.10. I was thinking I should take it under 87. Typically that's what I would do, but I was actually trying to get a bigger entrance with larger size, although because this is not a very big mover. So I ended up shorting before it broke 87 with the anticipation that it was going to break, with my stop right here at 87.10. So as you can see right here, I was only risking about 5 cents. So it wasn't a big deal if I did lose. But it kind of just added to the stockpile. So as you can see, I got kicked out right here in this candle. I was expecting it to break under 87. The market was actually trending a little bit lower during the time. So I was like, oh yeah, I got this. Totally did not happen. Just today was not my day. I ended up down a total of $386. A little bit more than I would typically lose, but it is a lot better than when I was down $540. I got to take that into account for tomorrow and just trade how I'm supposed to, try to stick to all my rules, and hopefully I'll do a little bit better tomorrow. If you guys do have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comments section. Also, make sure to join our Facebook group. I posted my watch list. I called out things like Wynn. Actually, I want to show you guys something on LVS. We're suspecting that Wynn, all the investors are actually getting out of Wynn and going into LVS because they do want to still be in that market, but it's taking such a beating that they need to park their money somewhere else. So there is no news behind LVS whatsoever. But as you can see, it's done nothing but go straight up. So Wynn's going down, LVS is going up. That means people are going from this market into this. So I also posted things like LVS. I posted Wynn way ahead of time. And these are basically all the movers for today. I posted them way before the market had opened for you guys to be able to take advantage of. And I guess I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.